This is Fantology.
You may have heard of us.
All right, what's up, fantasy book fans? This is Steven, your host with Fantology Podcast. We are doing our end of the year wrap up, and we've got Josh here, my lifelong friends Josh, Jake, and Ben. We're going to wrap up 2025, what we read, what we watched, highlights for the year, and then look forward into 2026 and see what we're excited for, what's on the radar.
Nice. I'm excited. It's crazy. I was thinking about this, and this year has gotten by so fast. Like I was thinking about I didn't go to Nexus this year, but I went last year. And I remember like trying to debate if I should count Win and Truth like in 2024 or 2025. And that is crazy that that's been a year already since I was reading that book.
Oh,
So
Yeah, I
just to
had the
kind of
same
start
debate,
things
yeah.
off. Yeah.
I did check as well. I finished it December, so I can't count it for this year.
yeah, that just means
Yeah.
we're getting old, I think, is what that means.
That is true when a year seems
Uh-huh,
like it's no time at all. Yeah.
uh-huh, uh-huh. All right, so let's hear some books that we read. It's going to be some of the same list, but there'll be some deviations because we can't stay too organized with what we're reading, can we?
Never.
I wish we could. I wish we could be a little bit better. But I
Yeah.
think I finished. I started off. I finished off Wind and Truth. I know that that book was divisive for some, but I really liked it. Not the best Stormlight book, but I just remember, starting off the year by just staying up like late, way past my bedtime, reading some pretty epic scenes in there. I don't want to
Mm.
spoil anything.
Still with the bedtime in your old age, huh?
Yeah,
No,
my bedtime's
bedtimes
okay.
bedtimes make a reappearance as it's one of those things
They
that
become more important in my old age.
That's true. I too have a bedtime, but I frequently don't respect it.
So Yeah. anyway, um, but yeah, so I think that started off my year. And then I had just it was a good year of reading. I don't think I read as much this year. I had a big certification thing that I worked on up through March, and so that
Mm.
kind of stifled a little bit of the beginning of the year for me. And then I just never quite got back on like just kind of binge reading like I will sometimes. But I feel like everything I read this year was really good. I don't think there were many busts. Like even books I didn't love, I still think were like fine and good.
Hmm.
So that's kind of my overview, and we can get into more specific titles. But that was my thoughts on looking back my the year of reading.
Yeah, I didn't read as many as I thought I had either, especially when it came to sci-fi fantasy. I think I read 17 books this year. My goal was 20, and
There's still
I
time,
don't
Jake.
think there
There's
is
still
still time.
time.
I started a new one today, but I don't think I might make it to 18 by the end of the year.
What is it?
Yeah,
What'd you
when do you
start?
start?
It's not a sci-fi or fantasy book. It's called
Hmm.
Jesus and John Wayne.
Okay.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
I've heard of that one. Where
Yeah.
did
Sounds
I
like
hear about
it
that?
could be
That was
sci-fi.
that was just talked about somewhere. Were we talking about that?
Uh, no, but
Or
we
was
have similar YouTube circles, so I'm sure
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
brought up in one of those.
Yeah.
The yeah, anyways. Um, but yeah, but I felt like I read a lot, but like looking back, there weren't as many as I would have liked. I'm gonna have to up that goal next year.
Hmm.
Yeah, this year was dominated by my wife getting into reading, and so I had to read what she read, otherwise I would get in trouble. So it was dominated by a lot of romance and romantasy. So that is, I read a lot this year, but not as much as I would have liked for Phantology.
That seems a little
And
one-sided, man.
yeah, yeah. Well, she read a few of my books too. She read The Will of the
Okay.
Many and really enjoyed
Okay.
that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Um, so she did shoot down my desire to purchase the new Wheel of Time leather bounds though. So that was
Yeah,
unfortunate.
that
Mm.
But
that that was that was that was Ben, after you got out of law school and now you're making your first law job money. I think that's a treat yourself moment, man. I'm just gonna put that out
the
there.
thing is, it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that our house has no place
You you
to
can
display
put
it.
you can put that, make some room in your like little bedside little counter or
Install
something,
a
That
shelf,
that that book would take up the entirety of my bedside table.
Worth it, man.
put a shelf up, turn a wall into a bookshelf.
that's fair. I will um probably not
You're
be
gonna
broaching the subject again, but
you're gonna need to. I mean, all the law books. Like you're gonna need a library anyways.
What
the
about
law
any?
library is
Do you have
called.
yeah, do you have any space at work? You could like
I
make
did
people
bring up
think it's like
I
a
did I did bring up my office at work, and she said that I would not want people seeing that side of myself at work.
well.
To which I said that is messed up. So I don't know. We'll see.
Come on, your coworker organically found the podcast. Like,
I know. Listen, I know.
yeah.
All
This
right.
is this
Well,
is a
Hmm.
thing.
we'll get there, Ben. We'll get you.
This is Jake. This is why we were having a conversation about like how we could share books and stuff, and this is why I thought it'd be cool to like 3D print books and like have covers on them, and have like a little RFID tag on there that could like open up the book. And this is my impetus for it because I want like some way to commit like to remember all of these books that I read or listen to, and I figure that that could be a cool thing to have like a little bookshelf of
You could do a
like
real
that.
book too if you want to just
No,
commemorate what you've listened to. If it's
of
just
everything I
if
cannot.
it's just as like trophies, like
Ben. Ben, you should just get like the smallest storage unit you can, and just have that be your reading sanctuary, man. $30 a
Mm,
month. Go get a storage unit.
that
Put
storage
up the
unit should be my
shelves.
garage right now.
I
So
that I don't okay. All right. Whatever. Um,
Dang, when you die early and she discovers the storage unit full of valuable book,
Josh.
then she'll
it's
be
funny.
happy.
There's an amazing Modern Family episode about this, where it's strikingly similar. Where Claire, the mama, that is like very big on like getting rid of everything, but she always makes Phil, the dad, get rid of them. And throughout like the whole years, he's been taking them off to like a storage facility and storing all of these like those memorabilia items there. And then like Claire has this moment of like regretting that she's thrown all this stuff away, and he just like goes to the storage unit and it's all there. Great Modern Family episode. Yeah.
Lindsay will have a moment of regret where she is apologizing to you for not letting you lean into this, and then you can
Yeah.
reveal the storage
I know.
unit.
Yeah, dude,
I should
you're
get
like
really
midlife
into golf
crisis.
or something.
Yeah, your
And
midlife crisis are like leather bound books. Like other people are like wanting to buy like a McLaren or something, and you're like, I
yeah.
just want my
Yeah,
leather
I'm in the
books.
McLaren stage of life for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
I'm glad we got away from the romanticy aspect of that conversation. That was where I was expecting it to go. But
Right, right.
Oh, speaking of which, no offense, I realized that I DNF'd the latest book in like Onyx Storm or whatever.
oh,
I
DNF
had
Onyx
I
Storm.
had like I was at like 75% of the way, and then a book came out, and I realized I never went back and finished it. So I don't maybe that'll be a
Maybe this
2026
is
finish.
yeah,
I
maybe
don't
this
know.
is your call to action here.
Mm.
Yeah.
So a
So
few that I read,
yeah.
yeah, I think I had about 20. I didn't write them all down, but I have a few written down. So highlights were The Devils. We got an arc for that. We talked about that a lot.
Mm,
Project Hail Mary, which I know I was behind on, but the movie coming out next year, which will be a thing we're excited for, really kind of got me to that point. I read that. I loved that one. Strength of the Few, we got an arc for, and I enjoyed, although not quite as favorited as Will of the Many, but I still really liked it. I liked
I'm
Catabasis
at
quite a
80% of the
bit.
way through there, just so you know.
Okay,
Wait,
I'm
you
okay.
still
working my
haven't
way through.
finished it?
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
thought you were done, but
yeah, yeah.
No.
all right.
No.
So you're coming up on some big ending stuff there, so enjoy
Hmm.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked Catabasis a lot, even though Ben and Josh didn't like that one
We got in trouble.
quite as
That was
much.
the closest time we got to being canceled, I think, in all of the podcasts that we've done.
Yeah, that happened. Um, yeah. I read my first Stephen King book, which I really liked. It was 11/22/63. I guess the one of the least scary of his books, which I was able to stomach, and I really enjoyed that. I really liked Out of the Other World, Shauna Lawless's new book, and I just barely picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I'm 1.5 books into that and having a fun time. They're not deep reads by any means, but they're pretty fun. And the author was at Dragonsteel Nexus, which Jake and I went to. And so I finally pulled the trigger on those, and I'm liking those.
Have
Nice.
you
Yeah,
seen
that's.
like sorry, Josh.
I was just gonna say Dragon or Dungeon Crawler Carl is going to be is my next like thing I'm gonna get into.
Mhm.
Is my plan. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be fun too. I have you guys seen there's like I've seen like it seems like the same TikTok a few times where it's like the book talk bro books where it's like if you know you're a book talk bro if you've read these books. And
Uh-huh.
I think The Will of the Many, Red Rising, and Crawler Carl are all on there. So
Okay.
it seems like
Mhm.
Fantology might be becoming like a book talk bro podcast.
That
Oh man.
tracks.
Yeah.
We are book talk bros.
Uh-huh.
Man.
I would say The Devils was a highlight of my year as well. And then I read The Will of the Many and The Strength of the Few this year for the first time. And they're kind of a package deal for me just because I read them back to back, and that was another
Mhm.
highlight, I'd say.
See that's interesting that you read them so like to me they're so spread out that I feel like that um I don't know. It's similar to what Steven said. I feel like The Will of the Many was like lived so long in my head as like a really strong first book
Mhm.
that I know I'm only 80% of the way through, but I kind of have similar feelings of, it's not as strong in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I feel the same, but when it comes to like highlights of the year, they're a package
oh
Mhm.
deal.
yeah.
But when
Yeah.
talking individual books, yeah, I um I think it'll really depend on how book three and maybe book four continue book two to give me a better sense of how I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. But yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Story structure there's a little unique in that book two almost felt like more of a setup book than book one did.
Yeah, book one
Mm.
felt like almost more like a contained story, with like it felt like kind of like a prologue to the series with a really strong contained story,
Yeah.
you know?
Talking about like Ender's Game status.
Yeah,
Kind
it
of, yeah.
could be,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good comparison.
With
Yeah,
more of a handoff to the next phase
yeah.
at the end of
Mm.
Will the Mini.
Yeah. Yeah. Few more that I read. We finished Hyperion earlier in the year and did some reviews on that. I started Fall of Hyperion, got kind of sidetracked, but I have promised Jake that I'm gonna finish it. So that's
I didn't mark having reread Hyperion this year. That gets me to 18. So just
okay.
two more.
You can come
There
up
we
with two
go.
You
more,
got
but
this, man.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
got this.
yeah.
Do reread count though? Like, should I just reread some quick books just to hit my goal?
I think they count. I
Is
think
that
a
how
reread
that?
I
counts.
think a reread like Hyperion counts
Yeah,
because that's a
Okay.
deep, that's a not just like a easy read. That's
right.
a
Oh, and Fall of Hyperion. So I just need one more. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you'll
dude,
come up
Jesus
with
and
one
John
more.
Wayne take you
Usually on
home,
this
man.
podcast. Uh-huh.
Take me home.
Yep.
Take the wheel.
Jake and I read Reaper's Gale. So we're 7 books into Malazan. It's been a long journey, but I think it's time to
It
commit
is.
to Toll the Hounds.
Hmm.
At this point we forgot everything about the series once again, so now we need to remember and read another complicated book. Isles of the Emberdark came out. I was a little disappointed in that one, but it is important to read for Cosmere stuff. There's a decent amount of information there, but it was just
I
kind of
just
yeah.
I just finished Yumi and the Nightmare Painter the other week, and kind of mixed bag there for me as well, where like really cool things, but like it didn't I didn't feel like the execution was like as polished as it could have been.
You
But
can tell these secret projects, a lot of them were written quickly,
yeah, yeah.
which they were. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Then Ben and I read A Judgment of Powers, Benedict Jocka's new book, which the third book in his new series, his new urban fantasy series. That one continues to be pretty good. I also have down Brigands and Bread Knives, which really kind of was a disappointment. I didn't love that one. I thought maybe the cozy fantasy vibe is starting to wear off a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of thinking in my head what kind of the bust of the year was for me, and it might be that one. Not that it was a bad book. That's what book I was referencing, where like even books I didn't enjoy would still be kind of just like average, like maybe 6 out of 10. Like it wasn't amazing, but I I didn't not enjoy it. Like I still enjoyed it, but not I didn't love it. Um, so I feel like that's a good indication though. That was a good year of reading for me.
Mm.
That I wasn't actively hating on anything I read.
I feel
besides
like
besides
Onyx
20,
Storm.
perhaps. But even then, it's not like I made it like conscious, like I'm putting this book down.
Mm,
But yeah, I still need to go finish that.
it was an organic thing for you.
Yeah, it was like just drifting apart.
I
It's
feel like
almost
this is
sadder.
a perfect opportunity for me to pitch Storygraph again. It's
This is like the Goodreads alternative, right?
It's our
yeah, and
sponsor.
it's our sponsor for today's
Uh-huh.
video,
Yeah.
Storygraph. It's a Goodreads alternative that focuses on showing your like reading stats. Like so there's lots of like charts. And my favorite one, especially for the year-end one, shows uh like line charts of books read throughout the year as well as pages. And so sometimes you'll see these spikes in number of books, but the page counts are more flat or vice versa if you're like reading fewer books that have more pages or more books with fewer pages. And anyways, looking at that chart, I peaked in July and
Yeah, what happened
then
in July for you?
September, October, November, there was no real progress made. I don't know.
Is that just a reflect like so you've got to be logging pretty
Yeah,
frequently?
you have to be logging, but I generally try to like when I do end up finishing, maybe won't log it, but I'll put the finish date around the time when I remembered finishing it to
Mm,
try to
okay.
keep track of that. But yeah, I was logging the most around like May to August as well, so that was probably
Mm.
why. Um, but yeah, everyone, you don't have to support Daddy Bezos if you hop on Storygraph. And yeah. Also, I
Is
see
Good
here that what's up?
is Goodreads really supporting Bezos that much?
Well,
I mean, he
I
owns
mean,
it. So,
I mean,
yeah.
how important is Goodreads? It's not a very good product.
I
I guess
mean,
that's
Judging by how much they
why do they
neglect
own it?
Goodreads,
I don't know.
They own it for
so
some reason.
yeah.
Like he's getting something out of it.
All right, Jake, I've got some time off right now. I will go through the pain and suffering of setting up Storygraph. I've been
The
very
pain
resistant.
is export from Goodreads, import to Storygraph.
Dude.
That's the pain. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
You're
rough.
talking about exporting
Yeah.
and importing for a
Yeah.
non-work related reason?
I've got to do that for
Yeah.
work. I don't want to do
Yeah.
Jake's like, all you have to do is open up R. You just
Yeah, Steven's
run the
like, you
You
Python
have to
find the
design
script.
API
an
connector,
I have to design an
get the
ETL
token.
process to do
it.
this.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
Uh,
Ben, any other
did,
reads you want to highlight for you?
well, I was wondering, do you guys have any, Jake, I know you said you read some non-fantasy books. Did anybody read like some good like historical books or anything, or like not, or
Well, wait.
some
I want
nonfiction?
to. I want to highlight. Sorry, I want to highlight one more fantasy book I read. Which Ben, you got me to read this, and it was Blood Over Brighthaven. I think it was a
Oh
2023
yeah, I've
release. It
been
was a little
waiting for
bit.
you guys to finish this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I here. Let me do a little quick little story time. I was driving. I'm up in Utah, as you can see with Steven, and I was planning on stopping in Vegas with Ben for a night, and we were sitting in 40 minutes of just stopped traffic, and so I ended up turning around, backtracking for about 100 miles, and then going up a different way straight to Utah. So drove through the night
Whoa.
at about it was like it ended up being like a 14-hour drive. My whole family was asleep, so I just like went straight through Blood Over Bright Haven in one sitting. I was like I was almost like I don't want to say like I was over 24 hours without sleep. Let's just put it that way. When as I was
Jesus.
listening to the end, so I was kind of like maybe hallucinating a little bit. I was on like my third rock star. It was a very interesting read. I've
Yeah.
ever read while I was high like before, but this might have been the closest to that.
Did that make it better or worse?
I feel like it made it an
It's got to
experience.
make
I'll
it
just say
better.
that.
That
Did it
book,
make the
Yeah.
yeah.
driving better or worse? It's got to be
You know,
better, right?
for sure. Yeah. Oh, it made, yeah,
Yeah.
the driving was great. It
Oh.
kept me awake. It's a very captivating book. At least, at least it was to me. So yeah, that was my experience with it.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's good. And that book is very like cinematic,
it
It's
is. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
into it.
that was a
I'm
good
not
book.
very far, but I'm into it, and I have time off right now, so
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely it's like one of those that like starts off a little slow and like it does kind of the heavy lifting up front to like build the world out and then like as soon as the kind of main conflict starts, it
Mm.
just kind of like
Okay.
goes fast. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see like you'll know what I'm talking about when like the conflict actually starts and it'll yeah.
One more book takes the lead before Fall of Hyperion and Steven's reading list. To your
Ew.
question, Ben, some nonfiction, two nonfiction I read that were kind of fantasy related were I finally finished On Writing by Stephen King. I had like
Nice.
three chapters left for the longest time. I've really enjoyed that one. The book is kind of split into a semi-autobiographical of his childhood, how he got into reading or writing, and then the second half is kind of like actually detailing like his writing advice. Um, and then I need to return it to you, Stephen. I still have it. Origins of the Wheel of Time, which
Oh,
was kind
nice.
of a mixed bag for me. I really liked what was there, but half the book was just like a glossary, which was so it's less than 300 pages, and half the book is just like a glossary of a like a person, place, or thing from the Wheel of Time, and like a kind of summary of where the name or idea came from, which
Mm.
was cool. But like the first half was like more in depth of like again some of that like biographical aspects of Robert Jordan and his like creative process, and I wish there was like a 500-page book dedicated to that section of it. But
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had that book for a bit. I should check it out.
Um, I really loved this is like kind of it's a nonfiction historical book called The Small and the Mighty. Somebody had like rented it on our Libby, but it's a really cool book. It's called The Small and the Mighty, 12 Unsung Americans Who Changed the Course of History from the Founding of the Civil Rights Movement. Or from the founding to the Civil Rights Movement. And super good. Like I think that this is one of those books that uh it's almost like I don't know, almost like a podcast in a way where it's like you kind of get
Mm.
these quick hits, but like more researched and more like well done than most podcasts are, where they just really go in detail, and then there's like kind of a narrative spun throughout it that kind of connects the 12 people together. So um, I found it a very approachable book for history. I found that it gave me a greater appreciation for different moments in history and for people that sacrificed greatly so that we can, have the arc of history to bend towards justice. So, great book, kind of a highlight of the year for me.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I don't know if I
So,
read
yeah,
any nonfiction this year.
Yeah, I don't think I did
nonfiction.
either.
Ben and Jake are all
Dude, I live in a
int
fantasy land.
intellectual over there.
No,
um,
yeah,
kind of more fantasy related. It's nonfic or it is fiction. Wait, I'm so confused. The other two are
Non-
nonfiction. This is fiction. I
fiction
always
is
get
not
thrown
real,
off.
Jake.
I know. I feel like not real should be non something, but they got it inverse.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
know.
Okay, fair.
Um, Grief is the thing with feathers. It's like kind of magical realism, so I think it touches on fantasy.
Nice.
Was a
Nice.
really
Okay.
good
That was
one.
like the poetry type
Is
book that
it?
you're telling me about.
It's kind of it feels kind of poetry-ish in its
Mm.
prose. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Nice.
should say feels poetic in its prose instead of poetry-ish. But
All right, should we switch over to media, TV/movies, fantasy related, sci-fi related?
So I have
Yeah.
one episode to go for Welcome to Derry, and that has been a
Oh,
trip.
I still need to
I
watch that.
oh really?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like 4 episodes in, so I need to really get caught up.
yeah.
Mm.
I think it's been very well done, and not t something I would typically watch. I kind of have to force myself to watch it, but um, I you know I really appreciate like uh things that are bringing like I don't know, just good like camera work and like very like it doesn't seem as polished as like a lot of the criticisms of like the Wheel of Time where it just like seems too like polished or too fake almost. I feel like they do a really good job of like avoiding that in Welcome to Derry where it's like
Mm.
um I don't know. So uh very, very well done. Good story. You can tell that like they have plotted out, every scene, and every scene is like doing a really good job of getting you where the writers are wanting you to go. So I've liked it. Jake, you're 4 episodes in. Do you agree, or has it been?
Yeah, I was kind of cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic at this point.
Yeah.
When it first started, I couldn't tell if it was going to be good or if they were just like doing things for shock value. But I think I've enjoyed what they're building towards so far, and so I'm excited to see how they stick the landing on it.
I mean, obviously things are for shock value, but I feel like that's Stephen King too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, and I guess I mean like there's some gruesome deaths in the first episode, and
yeah,
I would have considered it only for shock value if those deaths had no impact on the later story, but they do. So far they've
yeah,
had
yeah,
like they've been the impetus for a lot of the character
yeah,
arcs rather than just we're going to show a bunch of people die on screen, you know.
yeah.
So,
I like it.
Mm.
I think yeah, some of the highlights for me this year, Severance started off the year pretty strong, with a strong follow-up to the first season.
yeah.
I think I was getting a little worried sometimes because of they're kind of falling behind the scenes a little bit.
Hmm.
There seemed to be a little bit of conflict there, not really, and then it was just a long time. So anyway, I'm glad that the second season was strong. I'm sure that there's like some, you know, I don't think everyone loved it as much as the first season, but I think it continued with a strong vision, and I hope that they still kind of like keep it to maybe 3, maybe 4 seasons, and don't go overboard with it because I think it has like the chance to be like one of my top all-time favorite
Mm.
shows still with the strong probability that they can wear out, that they can go overboard with it. And then Pluribus, I've also really, really enjoyed. Kind of the same type of similar feeling show to Severance in the way that it's kind of like more deliberately paced and a little bit heady at times.
Eerie.
Eerie, yeah.
Yeah.
Both on Apple TV. I
Mm.
haven't I haven't watched last week's Pluribus episode, so I might just watch last week's and the finale kind of like back to back.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, I think we're gonna do a review of that coming up soon. But
Yeah.
I've really liked those two shows.
So
Uh,
Pluribus
yeah,
was the most watched Apple TV show ever, right?
it
In
doesn't
some metric.
it doesn't
More
surprise
than
me.
Severance? That's crazy to me.
Well, it is, but I forget how big of a juggernaut Breaking Bad was. Like how it has some of like the highest viewership records out there, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that like,
Mm.
that is going to get eyes on a show. You know what I mean? And I don't think it Better Call Saul ever reached the viewership heights that like Breaking Bad did, but it was very well like
Yeah.
critically received. And I personally like it more than Breaking Bad. So I like forget that it was such a cultural juggernaut that I think that people are going to give the
Right.
billions shows
Right. Like we
a
have a
shot.
we have a mutual friend, shout out Trayson, that loved Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And I'm assuming he's watching Pluribus, but I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't seen Severance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Mm.
Severance, I felt like season two was such a good, like an amazing follow-up. I feel like a lot of shows, especially with lots of time in between, kind of fall into the trap of characters become more and more caricatures of they are. I feel like Stranger Things is a good example. As much as I've still been enjoying Stranger Things, like there's like some fan service in the writing more that kind
Mm.
of gets in the way of actual like real plot or character development, if that makes sense. But like the characters felt exactly like real who they were, um, just growing from season one. So yeah, House of the Dragon. I know a lot of people are disappointed with season two, and if I'm remembering right, that came out this past year, right?
Was that this year? No,
Nah,
that
it
was
was
last
it
year.
was the
No,
year before.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
was the year before. The
Yeah.
Last of Us season two.
Last of
That,
Us is this year.
that
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
that one, another one. That one I was disappointed in. I felt like the writing was not as tight this year, um, and it wasn't so much like the main points, like where like of the plot that happened, like points A, B, C, D, or whatever. It was more
Hmm.
so like the in between. I felt like, man, I forgot her name.
Ellie.
E- Ellie. Yeah, I feel like she kept kind of flip-flopping between like who she was going to be, whether I don't want to give any spoilers, but
Yeah.
a little disappointed with that. I don't think it was a bad season, but compared to season one, it was disappointing for me.
Mm. Wheel of Time was early this year and then got canceled. I thought season three was pretty good, and it's unfortunate they weren't able to keep going.
Yeah, it was the best Wheel of Time season, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
for sure the best.
So
I mean,
RIP
I think,
there.
yeah,
Yeah. Murderbot. Have we all read those? Did we all read the
I read
books?
the first one.
I read the first couple. I didn't
Okay.
finish it.
Did you guys
Yeah,
watch the show or?
I only watched the first episode. Mackenzie didn't love it. For whatever reason, we didn't keep watching it.
Mm,
But I'd be down to keep watching it. I think probably closer to one season. Like if there's a season two, I'll probably watch
yeah.
season one in preparation for it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was renewed for season two. I
Okay.
thought it was good, not amazing.
yeah, I can't even remember if I finished it, honestly, at this point. But I enjoyed what I watched.
Mm,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's
It's
a
funny
weird
with
show.
stuff like
Borderlands,
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how Foundation is for me right now. Actually, like it's one of those shows I'm always like, "Ah, I need to go back and watch all of that because I enjoyed when I was watching it." But
Yeah, I watched
I
the
bounced
first
off of
season a
that
few
one.
years ago and wasn't impressed enough, but then I've heard it's gotten a lot better, so I've been meaning to try it again. And
I think an interesting one was Daredevil, Born Again. I love, I love the first like the Netflix Daredevil show.
mm,
And this one, I'm pretty sure the first and then last two episodes were by the team that made Netflix, or by some of the same team that made the Netflix one, or some. I'm forgetting the exact details, but the first and then last two episodes were made by kind of different people than what made the filler of the season,
yeah,
and you can totally tell the filler. I think it
Yeah.
was like probably like a five, like at
yeah.
most,
Like that random bank heist
yeah,
episode that,
that like
yeah.
was supposed to tie into Miss Marvel or whatever. Like I think that the filler was like what most of the MCU shows have been, like where it's like I don't like it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just like kind of just blah. But
Mm,
then the first and then last two episodes were phenomenal, I thought. So hopefully next season two, like those gave me a lot of hope that like it can be restored to its ultimate glory, and that
uh-huh.
we can have a great, season four or
Yeah.
season five. Yeah, season five.
I think we know the Punisher will not be there in season two, but Jessica Jones will be.
And but we also, I think it's confirmed that the Punisher is getting his own
Yeah, he's getting like a
show or
special.
special or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's gonna be the new
Where
Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
yeah, which will be interesting for for a spy, different vibes than Spider-Man for sure. Like I'm
Yeah.
already to the point. Liam, my son, is 8. He'll be 9 next year. Like I think I'm to the point where I might take him to like a Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? Like I took him to Fantastic Four in theaters, but like I don't know if I would take him to a Spider-Man movie that has the Punisher in it. Um, so
Hmm.
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. How much punishing will he do as
Yeah.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man just like the opening shows where gets their head blown off. It's like you're the opening shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Doesn't seem like the right brand there. Few others. Wednesday season two. Josh and I reviewed that one. Did anyone else watch that? I think we thought it was fun. Campy. And then The Witcher season, what is it? Four? Which
Or
one just came out?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't even know if you guys watched
I
that.
watched it.
I did, and it's just kind of on its last gasp. So it wasn't awful, but it's become very much like a background show.
Yeah, I wanted to care more about it than I did. I do think I do think that the Hemsworth brother thing,
Liam.
Liam Hemsworth
Josh, how
did
did you
I
forget the name Liam?
I don't know,
There's
man.
only one Liam in his life, Ben.
Yeah. Um, I think he did a great job, honestly. Like I think that was not at all what was wrong with the show. I mean, I know that Henry Cavill is like goated, and I'm not saying he did at all better than Cavill. And like I think that like the hardest thing was actually like bring the character to life in like a believable way. And I think that was all like Henry Cavill's doing. And then like I think it's an easier character to like mimic after somebody else like kind of established how to act the character, if that makes sense.
Mm,
But I think
yeah.
Liam like Hemsworth did a perfectly fine, like satisfactory job. But everything else about the show was just kind
Yeah.
of out there.
You can just tell that it's being drug along and
Yeah,
there's not, the passion for it is pretty much died.
yeah.
Yeah, my opinion on that show, and I know I don't think this is like as common of an opinion, but I thought the first season was the best season. And the first season had its flaws, and then I felt like it just got like a little sloppier and sloppier as it went
Jake, I'm
on.
pretty sure that's like the unanimous opinion about the show.
Well, I remember when season two came, or maybe it was when season one ended, people hated the just like the disjointed timeline of season one, and season two didn't have that. Maybe it's changed. I didn't finish season three, but maybe it's changed since then, or people liked it more.
Mm.
But I thought most people liked season two the most. But
I thought season two was still pretty good, but it tailed off. But I think I'm in the minority. I think most people are
oh,
with you.
okay,
Yeah.
I haven't been in the discourse in a long time. But
Mm.
so bad, it's so sad to me because there's a lot of good potential there. Like the source material itself, like has good potential for exciting TV, and like Henry Cavill just knocked it out of the park. But
Mm. Any more TV or movie highlights?
No.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to stuff that came out. These are books that came out that we haven't read, but I think are notable things that I want to get into. So the Mark Lawrence Library trilogy finished. The Tainted Cup, which is a popular series. I think it's called the Shadow of the Leviathan. The
hmm.
second book there came out. That one's pretty popular. Empire the Vampire had a new book. The Black Fire Blade had a sequel. The final Sun Eater book came out, and The Damned King by Justin Lee Anderson and the Eden Saga. Ryan read that one. Those all came out. So those are things that are floating around on the TBR for me that have got a lot of discussion.
When did we
Yeah.
read uh The Daughter's War didn't come out this year, did it?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
yeah. And then some just kind of like general highlights of the year. Jake, you and I went and saw Joe Abercrombie and Brandon Sanderson do a little deal promoting the Devils. That was super fun.
Oh, did
Not
you
many
guys really
opportunities
fast?
to,
Did
yeah,
did you see there is on Reddit there was a misprint from Tor where it had like a chapter of Mistborn inside Joe Abercrombie book?
yeah. I posted that on our
How
Discord.
did that
Pretty
Did
happen?
funny.
What's the story behind that?
I think it was
Someone
just a
just
misprint.
it was some crazy misprint. There was a copy of the Devils, and halfway through it switched to was it the first Mistborn? Anyway, just a crazy
Yeah.
mashup.
That is awesome.
Uh-huh.
But that he mentioned that when we saw him, right? He'd
Did
mentioned
he?
it earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I
I
don't
think
remember
it's
that.
like it's been like is it specific to like the special editions or not? I can't remember, but
I have no
I feel
knowledge
like
other than the random
Yeah.
Dude, if you
post that I
get
saw.
that and then get both Sanderson and Abercrombie
That,
to
that was
sign
like the
that,
top comment
yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, no, nobody's beating that. Like,
yeah.
that'd be like getting like a Narnia and Lord of the Rings book signed by both like Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. Like, just goaded. Like,
I mean, maybe in 50 years it would be like that. It currently is
Yeah, I
not
don't
quite
know.
that level.
I mean,
I'm surprised that
they're two like flagship science or fantasy authors of our generation. Like, I think
Yeah, I
they've
just think
cemented themselves
I
with
think it's
that.
got to age a bit to
Fine,
get to
sure,
that
sure.
value.
But like, if you're alive, if you're getting signatures back in,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, no, if I had the Narnia Lord of the Rings combo
This
misprint, like,
like this friend side.
yeah, uh-huh,
the magician's hobbit,
uh-huh.
Um,
or I guess the hobbit's nephew would be
The Hobbit's nephew.
Frodo.
Hmm.
also, I feel like a highlight for the podcast was interviewing Islington
Yeah,
or Islington.
yeah.
Yeah.
Islington. Yeah. Yeah. He's super gracious to come on again. And he's probably he's probably been my favorite author to interview. Super nice guy and lots of insights, some good stories I like hearing about. how Patrick Rothfuss gave him some advice early in his career. It's fun.
Yeah. I think that he has more potential, I think, than like he has so much potential as an author. And I think that he's capturing a lot of that with
Mm.
Strength of the Field, like with the Hierarchy series. But like, I could see it. He's just phenomenal. He's always been,
Yeah.
ever since the Strength or the Shadow of What
Like
Was
Canius.
Awesome, like Hades
Yeah.
trilogy. Like I've shared this before, but that's kind of what got me through like a years long reading slump was reading those books. So I just love them.
Yeah.
Can I share a low light in the kind of fantasy uh tangential atmosphere of the
Some of
year?
the early year canceling
No,
stuff.
no, this is even worse. This is the deal for Netflix to buy
Oh,
HBO. Just absolutely atrocious. There's I'm so disappointed in it. And I know that we still have a ways to go, but like, I don't know, man. We don't have to talk a lot about it, but I'm so stressed about like what that
I
means
mean,
for.
the optimistic hope is that they keep HBO as its own thing, but
Dude,
yeah.
no, this
I don't
is
even, is
it's
that even best case? Like, I don't know.
what do well bet the other option is that Paramount buys it, which is even if there's
No,
one thing like
no.
oh
Well, I was assuming, I thought Steven meant Netflix buys it and then HBO still stays its own product.
Paramount's
I
Oh,
like from the studio that brought you Master Chief's butt.
yeah no, but like yeah it's like I'm less worried about like the logistics of how they do like the where you go to watch the stuff than I am worried about like the product itself. And like, because HBO is still willing to take a lot of, risks and give a lot of latitude, I feel like, to its, creative teams.
mm,
Whereas like I don't think Netflix really is. There's some good stuff on Netflix, but it's so
yeah.
it's
yeah.
so bad. Most of it is just like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
I'm kind of worried about all of
like
it.
the fact that Harry Potter was coming out on HBO gave me hope that it was going to be like a good series because I know that there's like all the drama and some of the weird casting and like you can have your thoughts about all of that, but like HBO seems to take like every project that go like embarks on it like takes it seriously, and like even if I don't like the show, like I can see why people would like it. And whereas like
Yeah,
the best
Netflix does
case
not do
for
that.
like the like Stranger Things is probably the best Netflix show. So maybe if it's as good as Stranger Things, but like the other
Dark is probably the
optimistic,
best, but
well, yeah, but like I think that they're going to be shooting anyway.
no,
Well, I
no,
mean,
yeah,
counterpoint to that is Dark had a follow-up canceled after one season, even
no,
though
yeah,
Yeah,
you liked
yeah,
it.
Yeah, I think the
yeah,
thing with Netflix is that it produces good things on accident and then messes them up. So like
it's a good
like I
point.
don't think anybody was
Wolf.
like well, I don't know. I don't think anybody was expecting like Squid Games to like come out and like tear up the ratings, but like it did. And
Yeah.
then I heard nobody talking about season two. You know what I mean?
and yeah, and that's kind of like the big successes have been things that weren't. I mean, this
Right.
is
Weren't
just
even
like,
Netflix.
This is what I mean. It's not like Netflix like acquires an IP and does it justice. It's like
yeah,
they threw like a couple like $1 million to some like
yeah,
random studio and they like ended up getting a big hit. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's just
Mm.
that like stereotype of it's when you have people who are just passionate about making it, and then it does well, and then you get like the producers involved trying to like extract as much money out of it because it was successful,
Yeah.
and then you just ruin the whole reason it was
Mm.
successful to begin with.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about all of that. I don't I don't like Paramount. I don't think is great at the streaming stuff at all, so I don't have faith that they would be really good at that either. But I would be happy just to see things like I have more faith in theaters if Paramount acquired it, but also
Dude, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
We can talk later about this because it's a
Yeah.
whole rabbit hole.
This could
But
probably be a whole episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Anyway.
it.
Yeah.
We're pivoting from our year
Uh-huh.
end to our
Yeah.
HBO acquisition.
Three-quarters of the way through, the episode has changed. There was some conversation kind of about this at Dragonsteel, which is another highlight of the year. Jake and I went, Brandon Sanderson and one of the head guys that did Arcane were talking about adaptations and just kind of like some of the stuff that went into it. It was really interesting. I don't really have any big takeaways, but it's just fun to listen to people who are really deep into the industry, like talk about this type of stuff.
I was listening to Sanderson's State of the Sanderson earlier today,
Uh,
and yeah, it's interesting how like the Mistborn. I didn't even realize this, and people already know this already, but like the reason why a Mistborn video game hasn't been made is because those rights were tied up in the like TV show film adaptation rights, which
yeah.
have been like under like acquired and tossed around and all that. And
Mm,
it's like it's just and so he said that's like one thing that he now knows moving forward is to like keep those separate so that if there's a good opportunity to make a Mistborn video game, he can. And so it's just really interesting kind of getting a little bit of inside baseball into those kind of deals.
yeah. Yeah. In his year-end newsletter, State of the Sanderson, he was anticipating this next year to be spending some serious time with Hollywood people. So it seems like it's like two steps, maybe one step forward, one step back for the past few years, but he feels like we're maybe getting close to something.
Yeah.
So that's not in 2026, but you know, one day
Yeah,
we'll get
part of
there.
me is like worried that like do you guys, and this could be a whole episode itself. Are you guys worried that Sanderson has become too focused on getting a movie made?
Mm.
I don't know
Mm,
if that's his biggest just
Jake's like,
distraction.
I don't know. There's worse things about him that's going no. But
Well, I'm thinking I do agree with the sentiment that he should probably I would appreciate it if he put more time and effort of polishing books recently, but I don't know if the movie thing is what's getting in the way of that.
fair enough. Okay.
Maybe though.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
think that's
that's
fair
fair.
enough.
probably another episode
We'll
as
we'll
well.
do it.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
Sanderson is still my favorite author, so I don't want anybody to like, read into that too much. But I yeah,
I
I
think
had
there's
a
some
rant a few
there's some discourse that can be had about it
I
for
had a
sure.
rant a few episodes ago about like it, when it's clear that books are just made in order to become movies. And like I guess I'm sensitive to that. Like I don't want
Yeah, you don't want that.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's not always bad though, like Jurassic Park. A lot of Michael Crichton.
sure. Yeah, I think that there's the exceptions to the rule, but yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good episode.
One other highlight
Um,
was Jake and I attending NorwestCon, which is a sci-fi fantasy convention up in Seattle, and we were panelists up there and had a good time meeting some people and talking about some interesting uh, panel discussions. So thanks again to the folks up there for the invite, and that was a good time.
that was really fun. It would be fun to go as the Fantology 5 next time.
Just
I
throwing it
know.
out there,
Something
I'm
like
gonna
that.
have a little bit more time off next year because I'm not having a baby. So I could probably, I don't know. We
All
can talk
right,
offline about that.
Josh is in. Let's
That
go.
would
Josh
be, yeah.
is very in.
Sign
Nice.
him up. All right, any other 2025 stuff? If not, we're gonna move on to what we're looking ahead in 2026.
Yeah. Let's look ahead.
Yeah. My impression of 2026 was there's not like a big headline thing. It's probably bigger on at least like in our corner of sci-fi and fantasy, like our favorite stuff. Probably the headliners are some of the TV and movie projects, but on the book front, so 12 months, the new Dresden Files is coming out in January. We have the arc for that. I finished that and have a review out. I liked it quite a bit. Josh has got the arc now, so
Well, it's on its way to my house.
okay.
So when I get back to my
Oh,
house,
dang.
Yeah,
That's
I'll be
unfortunate
starting it.
timing.
we kind of
I
messed
know.
up the
Yeah.
transition of the physical
The handoff.
copy. All right, so that exists. That'll be out soon. And there's also a novella called Outlaw coming out in May, I think. And that follows up after. So you want to read 12 months first and then that. So some Dresden Files after several years off. Fires of December is the new thing that Sanderson announced at Nexus. It's a Hoid story. He read a decent chunk from it. Sounds interesting. It's a time travel situation with this one. And yeah, he hasn't really done time travel before, so I'm interested in time travel ever since reading 11/22/63.
Yeah.
For some
The
reason, I thought
Jake,
that was like a line that Sanderson said he would never cross. Am I making that up?
I don't remember hearing that.
Oh
No,
man. I thought he said something like, just didn't want to deal with implications. But
Mm.
That sounds like
maybe
Rick
not.
and Morty. That's why they just go to alternate universes.
Sounds like Spider-Man again. Yeah.
Jake, you mentioned Christopher Buehlman and The Daughter's War, so we're getting a sequel to Black Tongue Thief next year.
Which I need to read that
Nice.
one. I'll probably read those back to back then. Um, because I
Black Tongue
really
Thief,
liked The Daughter's War.
that's a good listen one as well. Just
I
Because the
started it and
author, yeah.
I got like 10% of the way in, and then I think Stephen was reading The Daughter's War at the time, so I just switched to that one.
I
But
might do a reread on that one. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I forgot everything that happens,
Yeah,
but it's a fun book.
it was a fun one.
We are okay, so we're getting another book in that Shadow of the Leviathan series. A lot of people are excited for that. I think that'll be on the list. Starts with the Tainted Cup. I've had a lot of people bring that up, like coworkers have said they enjoy that one. So looking forward to that. The next Dungeon Crawler Carl is coming out, number 8. And so now that I'm 1.5 books in, I'll probably get there. Unless my only fear with the series is it gets too repetitive. But so far it hasn't. So I'm enjoying that. We'll see how many of those I plow through or if I get tired of it. And there's new Brian McClellan, New Glass Immortals. Did you guys read In the Shadow of Lightning? Or is that just me?
I read the
no,
first. I read it, I believe. I don't.
With the
Yeah,
I
glass,
yeah.
have
I
it.
know
I
I
haven't
read
read
it.
it.
Yeah,
magical glass.
yeah. It was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since that one was published, so
Nice.
looking forward to that. James Arlington told us that he's got a new sci-fi book coming out, and he announced that in his blog post. Don't really know any other details, but looking forward to that one.
Anything he writes for me is an instant read. So, I'll
yeah.
check.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new Islington book. Um, Also, I think Red Rising is it or seven is supposed to
Seven,
come out?
Red God.
Red God. I don't think it.
Reddit's not
I
sure. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chatter about this. There's nothing concrete. I've got down Red God question mark. So we'll see.
Hmm.
I'm hoping it comes out soon because I decided to wait to start the second half of the series until they were all out so I could plow through them and not forget. So yeah,
Yeah.
looking forward to that. Pierce Brown was at Dragonstone Nexus and I thought he was a good time. He's a pretty funny dude.
Um.
And then Mark Lawrence also has a new series. It's called Daughter of Crows. I need to get up to date with his books. I've only finished one of his series, but they're all pretty solid.
Man. Yeah, I know. Mark Lawrence, I have to be in such like a mood to read it. Like I
I
don't
mean,
know.
not all of his books are Jorg, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I think that's the only one I've read.
That's kind
So
of tainted in your mind, like, yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
That's my baseline of like, oh, I have to like be ready for like some, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
grim dark on steroids here.
His other books aren't nearly as dark, but yeah. So those are books that I have highlighted. I'm sure there'll be a few others that pop up. These are just a few that Reddit was posting, but yeah, there's no like big headliner for me here.
Yeah, I mean, the new Dresden book lately, I think has been the headliner in a lot of ways. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind
Yeah,
of weird. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe this will
Wait.
be the year that I write my urban fantasy book that I
yeah,
write,
yeah.
and
Josh
then
Robinson
I'll
book.
release
It's
that.
big.
Then
Dang, I'm sorry, I just doxed you.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about doing it under a pseudonym, but
Uh-huh.
no, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think TV shows. I'm excited for Night in the Seven Kingdoms. I want
Yeah,
to
in
read.
January.
Yeah, right around the
Let's
corner.
read that. Let's get that on our TBRs so we can have
Okay,
Yeah.
that read.
maybe that'll be a drive home book for me.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's too long. House
Uh,
of the Dragon as well. Season 3 is coming
yep,
out. Looking forward to that. Second season was good, but was kind of one episode short of really
being great.
delivering,
Yeah.
and we expect that first episode to lead us off. So hopefully that season's pretty exciting. Should have a lot of dragons this season.
The MCU has to
App.
put it together, or sorry, the MCU has to put it together this year. It's kind of a make it or break it year for them. I feel like, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
they have a lot of
For
good.
me,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just between Doomsday, Spider-Man, Daredevil season three or season two, I think is supposed to come
Hmm.
out. Like
Yeah.
I think that they have a lot of like I don't think all of them have to be phenomenal, but I think a lot. I think that they have the majority have to be like phenomenal in order to like kind of like like jumpstart the MCU. But I've liked their recent stuff with Fantastic Four. I liked so I don't know, we'll see.
It's an interesting dilemma that they have because it's compared to like the DC universe that just keeps on restarting. It's like you either keep on going with what's being successful until it's like becomes bland, or you just keep on
So
restarting the
you
same
either die
story.
a hero or live long
Yeah.
enough to see yourself
Well,
become a villain.
I mean, DC doesn't keep on restarting. This is their first restart.
How many
They had
Batmans has there
some
been?
pretty big, yeah, they've rebooted Batman a bunch of times. They've rebooted,
No, but that wasn't a DC like cinematic universe.
they've had a lot of different like attempts at starting
False
like
starts then, I guess. I don't know.
No,
Like,
there was Zack Snyder's and then now James Gunn's. Those are the only two that they've had.
okay,
yeah.
fair. I
Mm.
guess fair enough. I feel like there's
Within
um
that they had like the Joker side, like the MCU, even when they have like side stuff that's not technically like in the MCU, maybe like the X-Men 97 show, like it doesn't like really break continuity with the
Yeah, and
MCU.
that stuff wasn't like considered part of the DCU ever
Yeah,
though.
but like
That was
you have to be like a super fan to know that like the new Joker movie isn't related to the new Batman movie. You know what I mean?
um
Most people would
I don't
assume.
know, I
I think
think maybe.
most people would assume that they're in the same universe and they're not.
Yeah,
Like,
Jake's super fan.
I guess I'm a super fan. And also to that point, the whole MCU goal this year is to reboot it.
well, we'll
Seems
see.
like they've got a lot riding on Doomsday.
Well,
Yeah.
and Doomsday is a reboot. Like Doomsday through Secret Wars is like the whole goal is to like start fresh.
yeah.
Mm.
I think narratively,
Um
but I don't know about anyway. We can maybe talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
another episode.
We'll
Looks
get
like we have the
yeah.
first few
Yeah.
episodes of 2026 coming up.
But DCU might reboot again depending on how
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
acquisition happens, which is outside of
Yeah.
their control. If
Oh,
I know, but it gives you more appreciation, I think, to Marvel, which has been able to keep a steady ship even through a Disney acquisition.
Yeah.
all right.
Jake is
So
unwilling to give
three
credit.
other big movies that I can't I'm not sure which of these I'm more excited for. Project Hail Mary, which I think is like February, Dune 3, and The
oh,
Odyssey.
Dune
definitely
3.
Dune 3, then The Odyssey, then Project Hail Mary.
I don't know. I love that book. So Project Hail Mary, I love that so much. I feel like
It's
I'm
funny.
going for that movie.
My excitement levels, I think, go the same way you went, Jake, is Dune 3, Odyssey, and then Project Hail Mary. But I think like the likelihood of them being like a success is almost like inverse to that. Whereas like Project Hail Mary, I think is probably like likely to be a success. And
Like
then
financial or critical or what do
kind
you,
of like
I feel like
everything,
Dune's
like
been
or for
doing
you
pretty good.
personally?
well, I think mostly I have I have a lot more expectation. Maybe it's just my expectations. I have really high expectations for Dune 3, and then like I
Yeah.
haven't even read Project Hail Mary the book, and so like I enjoyed The Martian and everything. So I'm hoping like I think it'll be good. But like if it's not good, I don't really care that much. Same
Yeah.
kind of the same thing with the Odyssey is I've seen like it hyped up so much. I really hope it's good, but like Dune 3, I really want it to be good. So maybe it's
Mm.
just
Yeah.
my expectations and how crushed I'll be if they're not good.
And also, like, if Dune 3 is good, it's going to be a movie you're going to be thinking about for the next decade. If Project Hail Mary is good, you'll think about it for like a year, you know?
And Dune 3 being good could be like could round out one of the best trilogies like in
Yeah.
film in a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
Are they doing a Dune 4? Or it's wrapping up here?
I think that this is
He's
the
not
last
doing
one
a
with
fourth
Denny,
one.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which is interesting because, from what I understand, the first three books kind of complete a narrative, and this is the first movie outside of the first book. And so I don't know
Uh-huh.
if they're going to try to do two and three in one movie or
Mm.
do yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
Should we read what is the name of the next book? I haven't read it. I don't know what
Dune
happens. I mean, I
Messiah.
I kind of know what happens, but should we read that in preparation?
We should read it. Yeah, I've never read it
Yeah.
either.
I'll read it.
We should read
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Dang.
In terms of attachment, I feel like I might be most attached to the Odyssey. Like I loved Greek mythology as a kid, and I've probably read through many different tellings of that whole saga, and I feel like it's got a lot of potential to really be a hit.
Yeah, I mean Christopher Nolan, like I don't, for my taste, like he doesn't miss, and I'm interested to see like what like freshness he adds to it, or if he's just gonna lean into like the story is as strong as it is already, so I'm just going to make a telling of that story
So,
as strong as it can be.
so I mean, I was thinking about adaptations he's done, and obviously Batman is like an adaptation in a lot of ways.
And
But has he
Oppenheimer kind of was.
and Oppenheimer because that was like adapting a book, right? Like a
Yeah,
biography. Didn't he
adapting
base it
the
like largely on a biography?
Mm,
yeah.
So so yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm really excited too.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see because it does feel more constrained because it is like a set story. Although Oppenheimer, I guess, was too, because you just had the life of the guy, you know. But
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. His,
I am
his narrative
I
decisions were really interesting on that one too.
was I talking to you, Stephen, about this, how I was a little disappointed watching the trailer, realizing that Matt Damon was Odysseus. I just assumed it was going to be like Christian Bale, but
I don't think Christian Bale's in the movie, is he?
I don't know. But that was my assumption going
Jake
into
just
it.
completely fan
Fan
cast
cast.
it and then assumed it was
Uh,
true.
I don't know. Matt Damon just doesn't have. Was I talking to you about this, Stephen? Who was I talking to about this?
It wasn't me.
I don't know who it was then.
He doesn't have it for you? Another movie about Matt Damon coming home
I
is
mean,
not
it
something
is
you're
that.
interested in?
Yeah. No,
Hmm.
he just doesn't. He doesn't seem to have the same gravitas that you'd expect Odysseus to have. But we'll have to
Mm.
see.
He's got a nice beard for it.
He does. He did grow a
beard,
nice
beard
beard for
adds
you.
that's
Yeah.
gravitas.
Oh.
I'm glad Tom Holland is playing his son. Tom Holland just does not look old enough to do anything other than be a child at
Uh-huh.
this point in his life, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'm also glad that it seems like it's starting with the end of the Trojan War. I'm glad that was the decision and not like because you could start it after the Trojan War and just be like Odysseus is on his way home and that would be kind of disappointing
Like missing out
because
the whole horse scene.
yeah.
I've seen one adaptation of this when I was like really young, and I don't know if it was like a movie or a mini series or what. We watched it over multiple days, I feel like, and it was really
Mm,
long. Um, yeah, that one had the Trojan horse in it, which was a cool part.
okay. All right. Last one I had down is Rings of Power question mark. This may or may not happen this year. And it's kind of hard to say how excited people are for it.
I
I
never
enjoyed
finished
the
season
last
two.
season. What? Oh man.
I've
I thought
enjoyed it okay, but
I didn't
also it's
enjoy
just
it. I
like
watched it, but
you
it's
are
so
too
slow.
negative, man.
It's so
too
slow.
negative. It's not well written, Ben. Like we don't have to like we don't have to give things more credit than they deserve.
I just
To Ben's point, I don't think the only thing that matters to a show is writing. I think I
yeah,
loved
it's
all the
at
costuming
some
and all
point
the
I just like turning all the lights off and throwing on a fun, like fantastical story, you know?
Is
Yeah,
that how
I
you
think
felt
that's
about the
totally
Hobbit
fine.
movies?
I think that's totally fine to enjoy that. But I think what I think is not fine is to enjoy something at that level and then be critical of people's like actual
Okay,
criticism of
okay,
it at a
okay, okay.
deeper level.
Sorry. Fair
Uh,
enough. All right. DC is better than Marvel, and
No, I don't think DC is
I
better
feel
than
like
Marvel. I just you keep people say it keeps being rebooted. It was rebooted once,
I feel like
potentially a
this
third
I feel like
time.
this whole conversation has been like opening a can of stuff and then like shoving it down and
yeah,
not moving
no,
on.
no.
I mean,
uh,
we are doing a year recap of our podcast. That's like every
Sure.
episode.
yeah.
Um, Another one that's iffy for next year is Neuromancer on Apple TV, which I'm really
Mm,
excited for. Um, but there's
that's a book, right?
Yeah, it's a book. It
It's
is
it's an older book.
came out in the was it 80s? Yeah. Came out like right around the
Yeah.
same time as the Blade Runner movie. It's like the
Okay.
book that consolidated cyberpunk as a genre.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's pretty. I really like the book. Excited to see what they do for the
Okay.
movie. I know it's filming right now, but there hasn't been an official release date.
Mm. Yeah, Apple Plus is usually a hit. So
It is,
Yeah.
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 hopefully that one's good. Any other things we're looking forward to? I'm sure there'll be more that surprises us, but that's what I've got down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I know of. So,
Um,
Cool.
well,
What's the big Sanderson book that's coming out this year? Do we know? Like what's
yeah,
going to be
Stephen
released
brought
at
up the
Dragonsteel?
fires of December. Was that it?
Yeah, you were there, man. He read the book. He read the first two chapters.
That's coming out next, Dragonsteel?
So he's doing a Kickstarter for that and the Hoyd storybook collection. And I think the book is coming out in like March or April to
Yeah.
Kickstarter backers. And then it's going to be released as like a tour book in
Oh,
December.
for okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was that's okay. I thought it
Yeah.
was coming out in March and there'd be a different book for
Yeah.
the December one. Oh, okay.
It kind of feels like they're in a space where they need to do Nexus because it's like the big thing for their company.
They
And
need to have
they
something
feel
for
that they
it.
need a book release for it, which is probably valid. And they needed a book because they're,
Yeah.
in between, he's writing all the Ghost Bloods books. And I mean, it's tough to
Focus
pump
on
out a
those.
book every single year.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't realize that was
Mhm.
the schedule for that. But
Yeah. I think at some point he was thinking that Isaac Stewart was gonna release a book because he's been writing some mysterious thing for a while, but maybe that wasn't as far along as they were hoping, and they kind of had to restructure things.
mm,
So that's what I'm guessing is the logistics behind the scenes of that whole thing.
Nice.
Sweet.
right.
Well, if you want to talk with us about our 2025 year or look forward to 2026 and we missed something, then hop on our Discord. Invites are going to be on this episode description. This is our last for the year, so moving on to a new year. It'll be the seventh year of, let's see, the eighth year of Fantology. We started in 19. So no.
Yeah.
This
seventh.
would be seventh. This will be
This is bad.
seventh. Yeah, seventh year.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's
All right.
wild though.
It's been fun. Another great year of Fantology. We just hit our 300th Discord member, so that's a big achievement
Mhm.
right there.
Shows you how crazy popular and successful we have been.
Hey, success is doing it for
Yeah,
going into our
That's
seventh
true.
year. Okay,
yeah.
that's
Journey,
success.
journey before destination there on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
All
And
right.
yeah, I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to do this with.
All right.
Back at you.
Same. Yeah.
All right.
So yes.
Happy holidays all.
See you guys.
Bye.